Eric Bolling, when did he get fired from Fox?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
after the sexual scandals.
Right, he was canceled by the woke elites, and he went over to Newsmax, where he's now dipping his toe into the "Don't Say Gay" bill and like the blowback from that. Disney apparently has a queer agenda because I think all of this uproar is about that new Buzz Lightyear movie, which may or may not have a gay character in it or something. Up to this point, Disney's queer agenda has been sometimes 2 men hug in the background of a Star Wars movie. But now they're getting a little bit more inclusive, and that's freaking out Eric Bolling.
Yeah, this is a very important cultural shift in America, where a major corporation that sole business is to provide content to our littlest, most vulnerable minds, now wants to inject a very radical agenda. Your thoughts?
Well, the sexualization of America's youth is not something new. We're very fortunate that those videos came out from those executives, because now they've exposed themselves for what they're trying to do. The other thing is, I'm looking at the parents of America. This stuff has been going on, as I said, for a long time, and they're finally starting to wake up. They should have woken up a long time ago, speaking of getting woken.
Pause it for a sec.
But
this is him speaking. I just want to make this clear to the Commonsense Cowboy.
Okay, yeah, what the hell this guy was.
Yes, if he's made appearances in the past, but here he is spouting some common sense about the quote sexualization of American youth.
God.
All right, Brad, let's finish it. Yeah.
Right now, somebody's got to put their foot down, and right now, guess who did? Ron DeSantis and the legislature in Florida said, "No way, you're not getting away with this stuff anymore." And now Disney says they're doubling down. I can't believe they're doing that. Walt Disney.
There's not a single detail in this entire diatribe.
Yeah, the reason that Disney even reacted was because the Pixar employees were threatening to revolt over the fact that they were still donating to the pro "Don't Say Gay" lawmakers in Florida. They were still sending campaign donations. That was part of the issue here.
And also, anytime you do see, say, a guy hugging another guy in a Pixar film, it's because a lot of the Pixar employees are upset that they've been forced to not allow any sort of representation of sort of any sort of same-sex affection.
So they passive aggressively, in a good way, react in that way, or try to put some representation at least in the background. But
what I mean about he's not giving any details is spell out what you mean by this has been going on a long time. What do you mean, Lady and the Tramp? What are you talking about? What's your examples?
Again, you saw that they said sex in that cloud in The Lion King, Matt, right? We all know. And there's a penis in the castle in Aladdin. You know what that wants to do. It wants to make your kids homo. If
you act like this is that's the sort of thing you've been concerned about, people will know you're an insane person.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, isn't Disney conservative though? This is what I don't understand.
Yes, that's the whole context of this, is that this is about conservatives like the Commonsense Cowboy here coming to the aid, not to actually challenge the executives at Disney, but to aid them into disciplining their workforce into not wanting to do any gay representation.
Yep.
Maybe Disney executives should stop donating to conservatives, because clearly they don't support them. They're not getting what they want.
Good point. They're just more worried about their international markets. It's the bottom line.
Florida said, "No way, you're not getting away with this stuff anymore." And now Disney says they're doubling down. I can't believe they're doing that. Walt Disney used to come on every Sunday, and he had that wonderful show, The Wonderful World of Color, and he gave a little narration, and they showed you good, wholesome entertainment that the whole family could watch and enjoy. And now we've gotten into this whole, woke culture. We've gotten into the whole gay culture. And quite frankly, I hope they don't try and take Davy Crockett and make him a transgender and call him Queen of the Wild Frontier.
Well,
I thought that Eric Bolling said that, but it makes me laugh even harder that it's the Commonsense Cowboy.
The best part is the references are from the 20s. No parent, I'm almost 40, there's no parent 40 who can reference any of this. Is there any parent in America who knows the Queen of the Wild Frontier reference and the wonderful I didn't even know it was the colorful world of Disney, the wonderful world of Disney. What was it?
Fantasia, that's kind of queer, ain't it? Why does it end in a vowel? Pretty gay, if you ask me.
Oh my God.
I
What
don't
was
want
the
Davina Crockett. I think that would be a massive. The Pixar should just do that. They should splinter off and just make that.
That's Dave Rubin's next calling card. He can finally become like the big Hollywood star if he wants to play. What's he called? Davina Crockett? Is that what he said?
Steamboat Willie is gonna be Steamboat Wanda.
Oh my goodness!
Wonderful World of Color was that was only like 8 years after this Song of the South.
It was like 1948. The guy is so old.
I know, right?
I mean, even Davy Crockett references. I mean,
exactly.
That was like, like we haven't. When's the last like media production that was centered around Davy Crockett even made?
I know. It's like
Steamboat Willie.
He's talking about how the Lone Ranger radio program or something like that next.
Yeah,
But I just want when he says the very radical agenda, well, that was what Bolling said, but he also says that the sexualization of America's youth is what they're referencing in terms of what they say Disney's doing here, right? Like they are trying to conflate pedophilia with gay people. That is what this whole thing is that, it's really sick that we're going to try to show that there's maybe a happy gay couple in this movie because they're really just predators and they're coming after your kids to make them just like them. And there's like this weird, like religious undertones to it. I mean, obviously on the surface, the ones that are obvious, I understand that, but almost like, Satan sucking you in and they're like, people who are serving these demonic forces of gayness, trying to get your child and attract them to their sick pedophilia ring, which they conflate with gayness or being trans. It's unnatural to be trans, right? You're going against the laws of nature. There's all of these religious, really sick undertones to it that, I mean, it's creepy. It's creepy as hell, and it's scary.
I'd love to see his thoughts on the Madison Cawthorn orgies, and I'm curious, why didn't they ask him about the orgies? Like, isn't that abysmal? I mean, who was there? They should do an undercover investigation. And speaking of sexualization, maybe we should talk to some of the hosts at Newsmax with the clear desks and the women who have to wear, short skirts and have to make sure to wear low-cut shirts and long hair. Let's talk about the sexualization.
Yeah, and also all the sort of conservative pedantry about the "Don't Say Gay" bill. Well, it actually doesn't say that. What a better sort of term for it would be the "Don't tell your class how exactly it is that Dave Rubin and his husband are expecting children" bill, because that's what it's designed for. If you have any questions like that. As a teacher, you need to just say, well, go ask your parents or the Bible, instead of describing to them like the reality of human sexuality and how exactly it is that a kid might have two moms or two dads. And all of this is basically this Disney attack is as a way, rather than being seen as attacking gay people or teachers, they want to be seen as attacking a giant corporation.
Yes. When in reality, we know what they're doing. And again, like there's so many themes here, but conservatism is all about naturalizing injustice and current states of being. And so even here, they're trying to claw back progress that we've already had. But they don't want you to see anything that's divergent from what their perspective is. And that's why all of these as I mentioned earlier, Don't Say Gay, anti-CRT, anti-masking, it's all from the same narcissistic, like, perspective of these religious right-wing parents and reactionary parents, honestly, because they don't want their children to have agency, and they want them to essentially be extensions of themselves, and by extension, their conservative values. And so, like, also, if you are in favor of this kind of garbage, you're a bad parent. You're not just a bad person, you're a bad parent.